What is going on, everyone? We're here at the office today. We're out of lockdown and things are good here in Melbourne, so I'm excited to get back into things after a couple of days over the weekend, taking it easy. But today we're talking about something that can really help a lot of law firms out there that are doing their own SEO work. If you're working on your own SEO, then this is the video for you to watch, because I'm going to take you through the most common mistakes we see law firms making with their websites and how to fix those mistakes as well. So if you are working on your own SEO agency, your own SEO for your law firm, then in the comments put any questions that you have and I will answer them in this video or another video, whatever we end up doing. But when we get started with law firms, let's say a law firm comes to us and says, Josh, let's get started with the SEO. We spend a lot of time at the start, at least the first couple of weeks, on researching, having a look at their websites, doing some comprehensive audits to find out what is happening with their website and their organic ranking. And in that process, we uncover so many things that are limiting their ability to rank for specific keywords in their area of practice industry. So what I've done here is I've compiled the three most common ones that we come across. So the first one is duplicate page titles. Now, Google uses page titles and headings on the page and content on the page as well to understand the context of a page. It wants to know, you need to make it easy for Google. It wants to know exactly what the page is all about. So it looks to things like page titles and H1 headings. If you have duplicate page titles and duplicate H1 headings, it really confuses Google. Google is thinking, well, if this page is titled this and that page is titled this, which is the actual page that's talking about that information, and which of those pages do I rank? So what it actually does is it will just completely ignore one of them. It will make a decision on which one it thinks is the most relevant page for that specific keyword, and it would just completely ignore the other one. So if you're putting effort into both the pages, all of a sudden all this effort that you're putting into the second page, it's just completely irrelevant and redundant because it's only ranking the one page. So you need to ensure that on every page of your website you have a unique page title, unique H1 headings, and just unique content in general. It's always good practice to make sure that every page has unique content. Otherwise you are risking that page just being completely ignored by Google. So that's the first mistake that we see, is duplicate page titles on a whole bunch of different pages. And this is normally down to laziness from, the web designer that you worked with potentially, or even just yourself. Maybe you didn't think that you needed to actually come up with unique page titles, so you just copy and paste it. So this is something that you should definitely look at changing. So if you have a WordPress website, it's really easy. You just download a plugin like Yoast, and you can go in and change every page title within the actual page editing page in the back end. If you need help with any of that stuff, just let me know. If you had a website built custom, just talk to your developer and ask them how to do this, or get them to do it for you. So that's the first thing, is page titles, duplicate page titles. The second thing is not having enough web pages in general. Some law firms come to us and are like, hey, we're not really ranking for much, and they've only got 4 or 5 web pages on their website. Every area of practice, it doesn't matter what area of practice you serve, there will be multiple opportunities for you to create content on your website. Let's say it's just business law, and you think to yourself, well, I'm only a business lawyer, so you can only have one services page and it's all about business law. But what are the different areas of business law? Maybe there's trademarks and IP, maybe there's taxation, maybe there's company registration and litigation. There are so many different areas within your singular area of practice, and you want to create a page for every single one of those. And the reason is because Google looks at individual pages. It's not looking at the entire website, it's looking at individual pages. So every page on your website is an opportunity to rank for another keyword. So you create more web pages, and I've done whole videos on this. If you want to link to that video or one of the videos that I've done on this topic, just comment below web pages and I'll send you the link. But the more web pages that you have, the more opportunities that you have to rank for keywords that are related to your area of practice. That's why you want to increase. If you have 5 right now, increase it to 8 or 10. If you have 10, try to squeeze out another couple. You know, like a good amount. You know, there is no industry standard for how many pages you should have on your website, as long as they're all relevant and they all include good content, naturally written content, and they're all relevant to your areas of practice. Then you've got the pages that you need for your website. Okay, you don't need to go crazy for it. I'm not telling you go out there and create 150 pages. Just maximize the amount of pages that you have on your website. So that is the second thing that we see. The second most common mistake that we see law firms making is just not putting any thought into the web pages they have on their website. Okay, so have a look at your site structure and fix that one up as well. Create some new pages, write some new content. It'll be worth it. And the third thing that we see, the most common mistake that we see law firms making with their website, is a lack of internal linking. So what internal linking is a link from, let's say, your services page onto your contact page, or from your home page onto your about page, or from your about page onto your blog page. It's essentially just linking from one page of your website to another page of your website. Not with a button, but with a hypertext link. Okay? Buttons are more for call to action. Hypertext link is for SEO. That's the general rule. You got your buttons for CTAs, you got your hypertext links for your SEOs. All right, that's all you need to remember. You can also use buttons for SEO, but I'm not going to go into the technical side of it. Just remember that hypertext is for SEO, buttons are for CTAs, and you want to include more of these hypertext links throughout your content. So what's an example? Let's say you're on the services page and it's running through all your different services. Let's say you're a business lawyer again, and one of the things that you start talking about is trademark and IP law. You want to have trademark and IP law linked to a page about trademark and IP law, your services in this area. Maybe you're talking about a statistic when it comes to trademark and IP law on that page, and you're talking about, 63% of businesses aren't protecting themselves, etc., and that links to one of your blog articles. And then in your blog article, you're talking about the fact that you can help people in business to protect their business with IP law, and that link goes to your services page. So now your website is creating this web of linking. What a lot of people don't realize is that although backlinks are super important and very, very useful, internal linking is just as useful. If one of the pages on your website has a whole lot of domain authority and you link that to another page of your website, that second page gets a bump, because you have a web page that is highly authoritative sending traffic to it. So it's good for SEO purposes, but it's also good for user experience. If someone is on your website and they're genuinely reading your content, they're immersed in the experience, and they see a link there and it is intuitive for them that that link is going to take them to more information, then that is a positive experience for someone on the website, and it's going to lead to more web inquiries as well. Okay, so go through your entire website, look at all the content, any opportunities to create internal links, set those links up, those hypertext links within your content. All right, max it out at 2 to 3 per page. Don't go any more than that, because the more hypertext links that you add, the less Google takes notice of them. Google's really looking for that first or second or third hypertext link, and the amount of SEO juice that it then passes onto that next page reduces with each link. Okay, so go through your content, 2 or 3 internal links per page, send it to other pages, increase user experience, and also increase web inquiries. So those are the 3 most common mistakes that we see: duplicate page titles, not having enough web pages, and internal links. If you want any more information on any of that, comment below, and I will talk to you in the next video.